Hello, my name's Kenny McDermott, and this is my wife, Carroll McDermott, and we're the owners of Ole McDermitts Farm located here in Carrollton. Um, we started farming, doing this, probably this will be our 13th year doing this. Um, Tons of activities out here to do. We have a corn maze, hay rides, giant slides, petting zoo, of course, just a lot of wonderful things to do as a family, super family oriented. Hard to find those nowadays, but we have it here. Of course, we have pumpkins in the fall, so a lot of great things to see and do here.
So we've been doing this for about 13 years, and our main focus is the fall things. When we're open those weekends in October, and we have field trips and families come out on the weekends, but we've started adding other things. Like I teach farm camps in the summer. I was a high school biology teacher, and so now we do the farm camps in the summer. And those are just a lot of fun. They're hands-on to give children a lot of opportunities that they don't have today. They come out and they feed the animals and care for the animals, and we even shear sheep on the sheep day and things like that. And then we're hoping to begin incorporating some spring field trips, maybe geared toward the older kids, and let me use some of that education background that I had to be able to do some things. And we've also started some flower cutting. We have a large zinnia field, and we're hoping to continue to grow that, and we lease that out to photographers to come and take pictures. We have flower cutting events that people come out. We have ladies events where a group will get together and come out together and spend the time cutting flowers and making flower arrangements and those type things. Those are things we're trying to do outside of the farm season, so we can just increase the amount of time that we do things out here, and to increase the revenue, because with things the way things are now, feed costs are going up, tractor costs, equipment, those type things, and so we're trying to figure out some ways to increase the amount of revenue that we make each year.
So, how did we get started in agriculture? I grew up in a subdivision, not on a farm, and after a family tragedy, I spent a lot of time up north on some relatives' dairy farm and absolutely fell in love with it and decided to go that path. I was like, that's what I want to do in life, and so from that's kind of how I got started in agriculture. And of course, Kayla married me and kind of got drug into that. And so our biggest obstacle, we have, well, not just one obstacle, but several obstacles. Time would be one of our biggest obstacles due to the fact that I do work a full-time job outside of the farm. So being able to have everything done, maintenance-wise, getting stuff planted, all the things that have to go along with that, is a lot of long hours, and it takes away from family, and that's a huge obstacle, being able to balance that time. And then the next biggest thing we have is weather. So of course everything we do out here is outside. There's not really a lot of inside activities, so rain can just shut us down. I mean, we can prepare and we can plan and we can have everything look great, but as first time it rains, the gates are shut, nobody's coming in, and so that becomes a big obstacle for us. So
For me, the thing is the time, because during this time of the season, I'm doing field trips every morning, and then we're open every weekend. And so I have little guys, that are 4 and 8, and they really can't take care of themselves. And so just trying to balance all that out. And some days we're out here 14, 16, 18 hours. You did some 18-hour days last week getting ready and to be open. And so that's just really a balance. And just being the two of us, basically we're a show. We had a lot of kids, a long time ago, teenagers and stuff to help us, but most of them are adults now. And so we just have our two little guys, and they really can't help us. And so it's like people will call and they want immediate answers, or they want this or that. And I just have to try to find out a way to balance it all out, because most of the time for this whole 6 or 7 weeks, I'm out here all the time. And so just trying to be able to meet everyone's needs and do all that. Like you said, the weather, when you're only open for 6 weeks, you work all year and your income comes in for 6 weeks, and you have 2 rainy weekends, that really puts a damper on what you're able to do. We would like for him to be able to quit his job, his full-time job, and just do this, but the whole weather factor prevents that. We lose 2 main weekends, and that's our income for the year. That's another reason we're trying to expand and try to come up with some things to do outside of the month of October.
So our favorite thing about the farm would be visiting with people. Just all the walks of life that come out here. We see people from the country that have farms that come and visit with us. We have people that live in the city that come and visit with us. and they all enjoy it, and they all have unique stories to talk about, and just visiting with people. We had a lady that came last year who had grown up in Manhattan, had never been around any kind of animal or livestock, specifically a cow that she wanted to see, and so we have a small miniature cow that she was able to get up close to and pet, and it was, I mean, it just to see her face, just she was 55, and it was wonderful just to see how excited she was to experience agriculture.
And the people is my favorite thing too. I work all the field trips, and I'm usually a field trip guide with the kids in the mornings when they come out, and it's just so much fun because some of them have never even been around a dog. You know, we have a farm dog that comes out, and just the different animals. And usually when they see the alpacas, they think they're camels, and so we have to talk about that and how they're not camels, they're alpacas. And so that's just a lot of fun introducing the kids and just seeing their excitement. And we have some kids that'll come with their class, and they come back and bring their family, and they come up to me and they're like, "Oh, you remember me? I was so and so." And so I always pretend like I did, but it's kind of hard with the number of kids I have come out here, and also the family time that we have together. Even though we have a lot of hours, we are out here together working, and that's a lot of fun for us. And so while Kenny's the creative brains behind the farm and the work mule too, I tend to think in things of dollars and cents and how can we take what we have and grow that income wise. Like when we extended the hayride this year, we planted a half an acre of flowers, and so I was like, how can we use those flowers? And so I started having cut flower events and different opportunities and things like that. And like we had baby alpacas a couple of weeks ago, and so we had some special events where people came over and they paid extra money to come over and get to snuggle with the alpacas. And this weekend I'm having yoga, so we're doing yoga out here on the farm. So I'm always trying to look at ways and things that we can do to just bring a little more income in, because expenses, can kind of get to be daunting at some point. We bought a new hayride and a new tractor, and all that stuff has to be paid for, and somehow animal feed has gone up. And so I'm always just trying to find ways that we can do little things that will increase, the revenue, the bottom line. That's just because, that's the whole point of being out here and trying to do this. Well, I say that. Part of the point, too, is it's just fun. It's just so fun to walk in the grocery store and some little kids say, "Oh, I know you from the farm." So the revenue is important, but also that recognition is fun with the kids and just creating those memories for them. So the farm is located in Rooteville, Georgia, even though we have a Carrollton address. So it's 102 Baxter Road, Carrollton, Georgia. And our phone number is 678-850-8948. And we have an Instagram page, a Facebook page, and a web page. But the web page is OleMcDermittsFarm.com. Because when we started this, we wanted to play on our name, obviously, but we weren't old at that point, and so we didn't want to be Ole McDermitts Farm, so we went OLE. Oh, but now we're getting old, so maybe we can change that back to O. But anyway, so we're OLE McDermitts Farm, just so you know. And so typically in the month of October, we're open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 to 6. And then on Friday and Monday afternoons from 2 to 6. And then we have field trips every morning during that time period. Like I said, we're going to expand to springtime field trips and other things, and the camps will be in the summer, and all that can be found on our webpage or our Facebook page or our Instagram page.